So this is the Razer Orochi. Very good mouse, a lot of great features. Razer doing great work these days. Going to give you a quick look at the shape here. So it is an egg shape. And interestingly, they have a bit of a ledge on this side. Let me show you this. See how it flares out? Just there. It's a very big curve. And I think that's a good thing in a way, but I think they've gone too far. Like, that is too much. Which is funny, because on the other side, it's bulging out. Let's see if I can show you this okay. Run my finger along it so you can sort of see the shape. Might have turned the mouse as I go. Anyway, it bulges out around this way. And that actually causes a kind of a strange feel. I think they need to push that in just a little bit. That's how I'd shape it anyway. I would arch that in just a little bit there to match this side more. And I would take off that bit right there. Like, I wouldn't have that so flared out from the top here. I'd flare it out down here a little bit, but not up there. I think they went that too high there. And then that would be a really good shape. So the sides are almost shaped perfectly, but not quite. They do cause a bit of an issue with my grip anyway. But, you know, it is a very comfortable mouse. I'm not saying it's bad. I'm just saying where it can improve. Because that's what these reviews are going to be like now, if you want to call this a review. Okay, so for the top, what do we got? Pretty curved, which is okay. It's not a bad thing being like that. I usually go for flatter mice like the FK series, but that doesn't actually feel bad in the hand. Feels quite okay. I think it's because where you're holding it, that's not going to cause an issue with that part that I pointed out in my mouse video. So no, that's fine. No issue there. I think the shape is good. The egg shape can work. The best thing about this is the range of motion. You can move that pretty much everywhere. What I do want to talk about is the grip width being a bit too wide for the length. I used to talk about the 2:1 ratio all the time. This is about 5.97 centimeters or 2.35 inches across, just there where you hold it. And the length is only 10.6 centimeters or 4.17 inches. 3.75 centimeter height, which I think also destabilizes it a little. But the problem is that while you have that range of motion, which is really good, you're going to find that, well, I found that I was over flicking this at times and I just couldn't quite get the aim to be consistent. And I actually found, don't hate me for this, but I aimed better on the G305. So they're not the same mouse, they're very different. They're kind of known as the egg mice in a way. This one's definitely more of an egg. But yeah, the shape, dimensions and all that are actually better on the G305 for aiming. Shape is king when it comes to aim, so even though this one's heavier and not as good in pretty much all the other ways, this is a newer mouse, I'd still use this one. So G305 still gets the win for me, which is why you'll see it ranked a bit higher than this one on my website. It's no hate for Razer. I love Razer, been a big fan for years. It's just, this is shape theory, principle, like aim theory. I found like the 2:1 ratio is actually very important, and we do need to keep them within those dimensions. This one doesn't have the length to stabilize this width. I think that's why you don't want to shape that's just like circular. I'll never use a circular mouse or a square mouse. I'll always want to be using 2:1 ratio, so twice as long as it is wide. And that's why I like this mouse. Let me get the dimensions for you. Okay, so this one's 5.55 by 11.5, whereas this one, I'll get better at this. For a 5.97 centimeter, so basically 6, you'd want that to be about 12 centimeters long, but really I'd rather adjust the grip width and make that half 10.6, so 5.3 centimeters on the width would have been a lot better. So tip to Razer, if they want to try that on a shape, I'd be happy to give it a go. And then I still think it's a bit high. Maybe 3.5 centimeters would be better. Just shave off that top a bit. I know you're going to lose a little bit of comfort, but I think aim-wise, it would be worth it. Then again, depends which audience you're actually after. Casuals are not going to care about this. Casuals don't really care about most things. And that's why, yeah, they went with the lithium battery inside the box, which I give them full credit for. These things are expensive. I used to have to buy these all the time just to get the weight down on the mice that use them. But they put the AA in the middle. Should have been on the back for those casuals who don't really care, because I find this is imbalanced just a little bit. And I'd rather have the AAA there. I think that would be better. We could just buy an adapter though, so I guess it's fine. That's probably why they decided to go with that actually. So probably a smart move. Suits casual and competitive audiences. But big props for them for giving us a lithium battery. That's super cool. And it keeps the weight down. It's only 72 grams with this battery in it. So you can get it even lower with the AAA and the adapter. So everything's quite good. Not perfect, but I mean, this stuff's plastic. You can't really expect perfection. I think they've done very well with most things. Scroll wheel actually feels pretty good. Good tension on the steps, but not too much. It is a bit loud for me, but you know, I like those smooth scroll wheels, so personal preference. Buttons left and right, actually pretty good. They actually feel very clicky, quite nice. Better than the G305, so that's cool. Side buttons was where the issue was. You could hear a bit of a squeak. Wasn't great, but you know, side buttons are hard to get right, so I'll forgive them. I mean, look, Razer's got everything pretty much right these days. The most important part is the shape, and I've already given my thoughts on that. So the top mouse, it's really good. If you're going for your best aim, I don't think this is the mouse to really go for. If you just want a small wireless mouse that you can take around with you, this is phenomenal. Got Bluetooth and wireless modes. I think it's a great gaming mouse. It's just not quite for competitive play because of that 2-to-1 ratio, and maybe the height is a bit too much. But hey, shape is hard to get right. Shape is king. I'm not judging. I'm actually trying to help because I like Razer and I hope they do well. So that's what I'd change on this mouse. Button height is 2 centimeters, which isn't too bad. You could probably go even lower. Not a big fan of eggshells personally, but hey, this one's pretty fun to use. I did like it. I just found my aim wasn't as consistent and I couldn't quite get the shots that I wanted, even though I could with the G305. And even though this one has the bulging sides and the issue with the lateral stability because of that, I still found it was easier to aim than this one. And it is just because it's too wide. I do prefer the length. I love having small mice, as you all know. But yeah, G305 is the better one. Let me give you a quick look at shape and size. There we go from the top. Go from the side. Go this way if you want. There we go. From the base. And from the back. Now size comparison with the Death Adder, you'll see that it is a lot smaller, of course. There it is from the sides. From the base. And from the back. Yeah, great little small mouse, just a bit too wide for me, maybe a bit too high as well. Other than that, I like pretty much everything about it. Yeah, hope that helps. Here's your links in the description. Like and share this video, and I'll catch you in the next.